Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Tuesday morning to you all. I hope you guys are waking up and having a wonderful start to your day, and I hope everyone's been having a great week out there so far. Thankfully, we don't have a lot to talk about in this morning's video, but of course, I'm always going to make a morning video. But things are calming down. There's no severe weather to talk about, thank goodness. But there is still a couple things to mention out here. So we'll do that. We'll talk about today's forecast first. For the first half of the video, we'll speak on a little bit of snow for areas of the Northeast. We got flakes flying around this morning across areas of the Great Lakes region and the Northeast. We do have some storms across Florida and some energy out west. So we'll speak on everything. We'll break that down first. We'll break it down section by section, and then we will have a portion of the video for the back half of the video that will speak on what's to come. Is there any other powerful storm systems we're watching in the medium to long-term range? Is there more severe weather upcoming? Is there a time frame to watch? I'm going to tell you right off the dot, I'm not seeing anything too crazy in the medium to long range, at least in a reliable time frame out ahead of us, right? So we're going to speak on what we do know, just some areas, maybe some time frames, just to kind of pay attention to. But all in all, I'm not seeing anything too crazy. We're definitely entering a slower period as we kind of transition to more so the middle of April. So I will have a Bible devotion towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. So if you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. If anybody has anything that I can pray about or pray over, please put it in the comments below. Let's get rocking and rolling this morning. So this is what's going on right now. The middle of the country, pretty quiet. All the areas that are quiet are more than likely kind of chilly this morning. Definitely a cooler, drier air mass has settled in for a large chunk of the country. So we got some chilly temperatures out there. Some areas are below freezing. So hopefully you definitely, had the protection for any plants or flowers out there that maybe you planted kind of early. And I don't blame you for planting them kind of early. I mean, it's been pretty warm across the South. So, but this does seem to happen at least, once a spring. We have a late season cold, and temperatures always flirt with, the 30s and the upper 20s, and we get the frost, the freeze, things like that. But hopefully it's not causing any damage out there. But we do got the flakes flying around across the Northeast, the Great Lakes region. This upper low continues to spin around. This will actually get stronger, and more widespread snow, accumulating snow, will get going here across areas of New England later today. We have some showers and storms across Florida. This cold front continues to progress eastward and will fully clear the eastern seaboard throughout today. It's been a slow mover for sure, and we continue to get a stream of energy into the Pacific Northwest in the form of lower elevation rain, higher elevation snow. But like I said, the middle of the country, pretty quiet. Watches, warnings, and advisories. We have these freeze warnings in the purple across the middle of the country. This dark purple, that's freeze warning, so it's quite cold out there for early to mid-April standards. We got some winter weather advisories in this other shade of purple for the accumulating snow that's ongoing right now, expected over the next 24 to 36 hours. Wind advisories in this kind of tannish color. Most of the country, though, is pretty quiet, guys. I mean, we do have the lingering flood warnings in the light shade of green because of these areas that are bordering like rivers and streams. Obviously with all this rain that we got in this area of the country, the Mid-South, and areas of the southern plains, the rivers are high, so it'll take probably several days before we start to get all of these off the map, and before just the water levels begin to drop some. So as far as the Storm Prediction Center outlook, though, guys, I mean, there's no severe weather expected. We have a general risk of thunderstorms across the high plains, northern Rockies, and Florida, but there's not even a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. There's not even a marginal risk. So there is quite literally just calm and stable conditions across most of the country. So thank the good Lord for that. The excessive rainfall outlook, I mean, not a peep out here, except a very small section of southeast Florida, including Miami, a marginal risk of flash flooding. But man, I mean, it's quiet. So the southeast today, what are we expecting? We're going to continue to get lingering showers and storms across the southern half of Florida. That is the only area that's going to get anything falling from the sky today besides pollen. At least, it seems like it's falling from the sky, but it's really coming from the trees, which I guess technically, anyways, getting off track here. But southern half of Florida will continue to get these showers and storms. It's going to be hard. It's hard for cold fronts to fully clear down here this time of the year. We're getting later in the year. Cold fronts don't dig as far south anymore. But we definitely could get some showers and storms in the Bahamas, So if you're vacationing down here in the Bahamas or Key West or something, could get a lot of shower and storm activity. But we get all the way into tomorrow morning, and a lot of this energy is beginning to clear off the Florida coastline. So it really becomes calm tomorrow especially, but we are going to deal with just kind of a rainy day across the southern half of Florida. It's on and off showers. Not going to rain all day in these areas, but on and off showers and storms. But up here in the Northeast, this will probably be where we spend the most time. This morning, we got, a lot of snow showers out here. Some are not even being indicated on this run of the HRRR model run. But we'll continue to take it to about midday. We'll continue just to get light to moderate at times heavy snow across New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, even down to the Berkshires and Mass. I mean, maybe even some snow showers all the way down to Connecticut. And then it becomes a lot more widespread as this kind of upper low begins to deepen. So by the time we get into this evening, an all-out snowstorm breaks out across the state of Maine. Some heavier back-end snow does pivot back into kind of areas of northern New York, New Hampshire, and Vermont. And this will continue through the overnight hours, but by the time we're waking up tomorrow morning, this will be about done. So just a couple individual areas of how much additional snowfall you're expecting. Caribou could get 2 to 3 inches. Northern Maine, 2 to as much as 5 inches of snow. Look to be the general theme here. Lincoln, 4 to 6 inches of snow. Kind of the down east areas of Maine, 3 to as much as 6 inches of snow is expected. We continue to move a little bit further south and west. Jackman, 6 to 8 inches of snow. Rangeley, 4 to 6. Rumford, 2 to 3. Augusta, 2 to 3. Freiburg, 1 to 2. Maybe an inch or less of snow down here in southern areas of New Hampshire. Colebrook, 4 to 6. We take it to Vermont. Definitely elevation driven. Lower elevations, a dusting to an inch of snow. If you live 1,000, 2,000 feet up, that'll make all the difference. Could get a couple inches of snow. So it's just kind of one of those tough forecasts. Definitely elevation driven. The Adirondacks, a few inches of snow is expected depending on elevation. And then the last little area will show Tug Hill Plateau. Here's the key down. Well, no, I'm sorry. The key's over here. 2 to 4 inches of snow looks to be the common theme. Could get a few tenths of an inch of snow closer to Rochester and Buffalo, but this is for really what's going on right now. So if you're a big snow fan, enjoy it because we'll get less and less of these events as we get deeper into spring and closer to summer. But Tuesday morning, this morning, across the southern plains, nothing going on. It is dry as a bone. You're just chilling. Nice weather. Enjoy your Tuesday. Sorry for your 10 seconds of fame there. The southern plains, south central U.S. is literally feast and famine. Feast or famine, it's either extremely active or it's just slow as it just there's nothing going on. But the north central U.S. we will continue to get some lingering lake enhanced snow activity across the UP of Michigan, lower Michigan. Some snow will be flying around out here to this afternoon. Not everybody will see it. Some people will. Could get a burst of snow, maybe a dusting in the UP, lower Michigan, but outside of that, warmer air begins to move in, but still could wake up to another round of snow. But like I said, some more warm air is involved, so this actually might mix more so with rain by tomorrow afternoon in these same similar areas, with heavier rain kind of moving into northern Indiana and areas of Illinois. So the western U.S. will just continue to get, 1 weak storm system after the other. So another round of heavy rain across the Pacific Northwest. And honestly, we might as well just kind of look in the Northwest because this is the only area of the western U.S. getting anything. So we'll start off this morning. Another round of heavy rain will move in. So this is taking in until about 2 o'clock this afternoon, 1 or 2 o'clock. Just, rain moving through Seattle, Eugene, maybe Medford. I don't think it'll be as far south and southern and southwest Oregon as it was maybe yesterday, but that'll move in, move out, and I do think we'll wake up to a calmer start for Wednesday morning. Temperatures is what we're looking at. Area of cooler air across the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, the Great Lakes region, the Northeast. Some areas in the Northeast will be locked in the 20s for highs. So it is going to be a frigid day for early to mid-April standards for the Northeast. It's just tough to shake winter up here. And I always talk, I would love to live in the Northeast and the Great Lakes region, but if there was any time of the year when I would not enjoy it too much, it's probably this time of the year. Just the way it just takes forever to shake winter up here is just crazy. But anyways, The southeast is going to be a cooler day. In fact, I mean, temperatures are going to struggle to get out the 40s and 50s across Tennessee today. I mean, this is going to be chilly, but I do think it'll warm up a little bit more than what this model is showing. Chilly day for even areas of Florida for, April. And then the middle of the country is going to start to warm back up. 70s and 80s across the plains. Nice day, but there will be a pretty decent temperature gradient from the plains of the Midwest, where highs will only be in the 50s in the Midwest, the plains 70s and 80s. Southwest getting into the 80s and 90s. Cooler day up here in the Pacific Northwest with cloud cover and rain. So that's an update on that. Is there anything to come that we need to be concerned about? Let's just look at the one run of the Euro. We'll just look at tropical tidbits. We're going to start off Thursday morning. There is a little low right here we'll watch. It'll dive down. And by the time we get into Thursday afternoon, we could, you're just seeing a blob of green and some splotches of yellow and orange right into kind of this area. So we could get enough energy, enough moisture. It kind of gets pulled up into here to kind of aid in a little bit of thermodynamic energy to produce maybe a little small-scale severe weather event for Thursday. But I think right now it's a marginal risk, and I'll show you that here in a second. This could uptrend to a slight, but either way, it's not going to be a big deal, I don't think. So there's some energy diving down from the north. Not a big deal. This system, though, could get stronger. Doesn't mean the severe weather threat goes up, but it could begin to get stronger. So by the time we're getting to Friday, we could get a big heavy rain event across the mid-Atlantic, especially in areas of the Appalachian Mountains. We get taken to Friday evening, and then we get into Saturday morning. Interesting little scenario could get going where we have a stronger low pressure off the coast of the mid-Atlantic or the Northeast, and maybe some heavier interior snow that favors higher elevations for sure. This will be all rain for New York to Boston. But this will be interesting to see if we can get some heavy interior snow in the Poconos, Adirondacks, Green and White Mountains, the Berkshires. But it's obviously April. It's going to be struggling with a cold air source. But then we get into like Sunday morning. Low pressure could still just be lingering around, pestering around here. Could get a low up here to the north. We're getting into next Monday. Another shot of cold air dives down early next week based off this run. We'll see what happens with that. And really keeps you guys pretty cold in the Northeast again, mid to late next week, potentially. And then we get about 10 days out, and I'm going to stop it right here. There's no reason to go in much further than 10 days. I mean, I will take it to about next Saturday. But there's no significant storm systems, like, cutting across the middle of the country. When you start to see storm systems doing like this or like this is when you got a strengthening storm system and a system that's trying to bring up more moisture out the Gulf. So I'm not seeing that. And, you look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook. This is for Thursday. There's that marginal risk. It's really centered further to the south. So we could get some strong and severe storms for areas of the deep and mid-south. But I wouldn't expect a huge deal out of this. But going past that, Friday onward, predictability too low. So maybe a little severe weather for Friday, but I'm not expecting a big deal. And then after that, it just says predictability too low or potential too low. So nothing is standing out right now to obviously put a 15% risk for the foreseeable future. But this isn't going to last. We're still in April. Severe weather will return, but certainly enjoy it while we have it. So, if we look at any indication of a strong surge of moist air to the north. So we'll look at the Euro ensemble. This is for Thursday afternoon. Little bit of moisture trying to creep into the deep south. So dews are creeping back up into the upper 50s, low 60s. This could drive some severe weather in that marginal risk area for Thursday afternoon, evening. And then that cold front moves in. It clears out the air mass again. Dew points drop into the 30s and 40s. And then behind it, we could have a spike of moisture back up the middle of the country, as you can tell, for Saturday evening this weekend. But it's not deep moisture. Now, you get into Sunday, we do have some deeper moisture that gets all the way up into Oklahoma, Kansas. But is there going to be enough lift for thunderstorms? It's a big question. And then we get into next week. We start to get some more widespread moisture return out the Gulf. So, we get some deeper moisture into Louisiana, the western deep south, and the Mississippi Valley. But is there going to be lift for thunderstorms? And then it looks like another cold front tries to move in and clears out the air mass once again. And, I'm not seeing a stout signal for overlapping ingredients for any kind of widespread severe weather event for now. Now, speaking of that snow event, as we get later in this weekend for the Northeast, this is the snow for right now. Well, this is in 48-hour periods. Watch how the signal for snow moves in for this weekend across the interior Northeast. This could potentially be a heavy interior Northeast and New England snow. You have to watch for it, but that is a signal for several inches of snow and the favored higher elevations of the Northeast for this weekend. So we'll continue to watch that. But folks, that's all I got. I mean, it's under 20 minutes. Just not a ton to speak on, to be honest, but I do got you a Bible devotion. So we'll spend a couple minutes on this. This morning we're in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10. So 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10. I might go to the rest of the way too, but it says, just as each one has received a gift, use it to serve others as good stewards of the varied grace of God. If anyone, I'm going to go to verse 11. If anyone speaks, let it be as one who speaks God's word. If anyone serves, let it be from the strength of God provides, so that God may be glorified. That's huge. May be glorified through Jesus Christ in everything. To him be the glory and the power forever and ever. Amen. So, it speaks on spiritual gifts, and I really feel like we all have something that's God given. I feel like, our talents, whatever it may be. Now, there's some people that go to the grave and they never know what their real gift is. Is your gift like encouraging people? Is it providing a service? Whatever it may be. And there's different, obviously, sections of gifts out there that we can speak on. But the general theme here is that I think we all have something, a gift out there. And I think that there's two, in my opinion, there's two parts to it. One is finding out what that gift is. And a lot of times I like to say it like this. It's something that you do the best with the littlest amount of effort. Now, other people might have different takes on that, but that's just a different way of looking at it. But the second thing is, and the first is hard enough, right? And that's just continuing to, the first thing is it helps when you obviously, have a really good relationship with Christ, and you're constantly striving to build a stronger relationship with Christ. I think that he will open things up for you to really know what your gift is. The second thing is, once you find out what your gift is, don't leave it on the table. Provide a service. Utilize that gift and give the glory to God. Utilize your gift. Your gift might open up a platform for you. Like for me, my platform is YouTube, social media. My gift, it is this in a way. But I think there's other things that I'm good at too. And there's things that I'm not good at, but I'm choosing to right now, read out the Bible and provide, pray for you guys and read through scripture. And, I might not be the best at it, but I'm utilizing my platform to glorify God. So, what I'm going back to is that second thing is a lot of people cannot get out their comfort zone enough to really, utilize that gift and really pursue it. It's like they know it, but they're too scared to make a move because it's going to put them out their comfort zone. It's going to put them out there, and it's going to make them do things they really don't want to do. They don't feel comfortable doing. And so a lot of people just go to grave with, all these things that they were called to do but never did because they wouldn't get out their comfort zone to do them. And I'm huge on getting out your comfort zone. And I work on that every day. And a lot of people are comfort zone people. But I think the main thing to get out of this, and, I like to ramble when it comes to these Bible devotion guys. I think you guys notice, but it seems like in the comments, you folks definitely get some things out of it and appreciate it. But I like to try to speak from the heart. I don't like to write stuff down and then read it. It just doesn't feel genuine to me. So that's why I have some hiccups when doing this sometimes. But, just, one thing I would say is, you got something that we all, if you leave it on the table, we all suffer. So if there's something you're really good at, bring it to the table. Let's see it. God's gonna use you, and He's gonna get the glory for it. And we can see how great God is, and we know He's great. So, definitely have some courage, step out. You're good at something. I promise you are. You got some sort of gift, but don't leave it on the table. It hurts all of us. It hurts all of us. Who knows? Your gift might save somebody's life. And because you just didn't want to get out your comfort zone, and it might sound a little harsh, you're not able to. Now, some people just don't have the access to do certain things and things like that. But I do believe 100% that God always provides a way. Some people's way, it takes you through a much more difficult path than others. But some people have to go through that much more difficult path to make them into what He's calling you to be. I want you guys to really understand that. Is, some people, and I used to be like this. I had the worst victim mentality. Maybe one day I'll come on here and I'll tell you guys my story. But I had such a terrible victim mentality, and I thought, why does everybody have it easier than me? That was my kryptonite. And then one day I realized that, you know what? I'm going through this for a reason. I'm going to keep going through it. And I look back on all the things that I went through, and I'm glad I went through it. So I know I kind of got off track there, but everybody's got a gift, guys. Just remember that. You got something you're great at, a God-given ability. If you don't know what it is, build your relationship with Christ, and I think He will reveal it to you. Once it's revealed to you, you got to put your foot on the gas and pursue it, and God will begin to use you, work in your life. You will be blessed for it. You will bless others while you do it, and God will get the glory for it. So I should have just said all that in the beginning, but hope you got something out of that. God bless all y'all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning. God bless.